explosive U.S. supervolcano showing signs of imminent eruption with millions at risk. And we know that there's more than one supervolcano in the United States. And we're not talking about Yellowstone. This time we're talking about Long Valley caldera of California. Scientists previously warned that Long Valley caldera in California could erupt in the future after finding alarming signs beneath the park's surface. We know that it had a super eruption 760,000 years ago. Anyone who has spent time in Long Valley caldera, California, this past year may have noticed a shift in the hot creek springs and pools. Basically, Long Valley looks like Yellowstone. It does have hydrothermal areas and, of course, geysers. The creek there has, visitors say, taken on a more malign bubbling in recent months, a new hot water feature even popping up in the shore of the creek. And for many, it was a sign that the ancient volcano was preparing to blow. But this is not the case, according to California Volcano Observatory, and more a result of winter's dramatic snowfall, much of which melted from the highlands around the caldera, filling it deep enough below the surface for it to eventually regurgitate. And while the caldera may be safe for now, scientists have in the past warned that other signs throughout Long Valley hint that an eruption may well be around the corner. Long Valley sits next to Mammoth Mountain and is one of the world's largest calderas, a huge cauldron-like hollow that forms after an eruption. It measures a whopping 20 miles long, 11 miles wide, and is up to 3,000 feet deep, and was originally formed 760,000 years ago when it had a devastating super eruption, released hot ash that later cooled and formed the Bishop Tuff. Mountains of ash. Now, during this first eruption, ash was sent 8 miles into the air, with deposits believed to fall as far east as Kansas, more than 1,000 miles away. Long Valley would cause absolute chaos if it erupted, yet little is said about it. More attention is given to Yellowstone supervolcano, another supervolcano hundreds of miles to the northeast, about 700 miles. But according to the Science Channel, Long Valley could well be on its way to erupting. The supervolcano and its recent activity were explored during the channel's 2017 documentary, Secrets of the Underground. Rob Nelson, a scientist at the show's narrator, said there are alarming signs of possible volcanic activity, and clues are pointing towards an imminent eruption scattered throughout this valley, the site of the second largest explosive volcano erupting in North America. And even if a weaker eruption occurred at Long Valley today, it would still pose an existential threat to the millions who live around it. An investigation carried out by Science Channel in a part of the valley found several instances of smoke billowing out from beneath the ground. Jared Peacock, a geophysicist, similarly pointed out an alarming feature of the caldera. Using INSAR data, technology that creates a detailed map of a region through lasers that has monitored the area for the last 20 years, he found a troubling region near Mammoth Lakes, a town in the Sierra Nevada mountains. And showing a map created from the data, Mr. Peacock said, right here in the middle you see there's a resurgent dome, a red-hot dome positioned directly beneath the ground where the magma is likely to reside. Something underneath is pushing it upwards, Peacock explained. And he and Mr. Nelson set up sensor pipes directly above the point on the map to track whether the caldera was coming back to life, scanning for any activity below the ground. The pipes enable the researcher to detect changes in the Earth's magnetic field, helping to determine the presence of liquid underground, which could be magma, and liquid is exactly what they found, lots of magma, a clear sign of volcanic activity. The activity, however, was not centralized but spread out, reducing the cause for concern. And Mr. Peacock said, we can say conclusively that there is no giant magma chamber below, but there are smaller satellites, one around the area, the satellite ones around the area. But the danger was not fully ruled out. A year later, a study published in the science journal Geoscience World found evidence of ground deformation at the supervolcano. Geologists who worked on the study wrote that ongoing uplift suggests new magma may be intruding into the reservoir since at least 1978. It could, they said, be evidence of moving molten rock and crystallization of material deep beneath the ground. And despite 40 years of diverse investigations, the presence of large volumes of melt in Long Valley's magma reservoir remain unresolved, the author said. Scientists believe that there could be considerable quantities of melt inside the Long Valley caldera reservoir, a figure likely greater than 240 cubic miles or 1,000 cubic kilometers. Almost 30% of this could be hot enough to turn into scorching liquid rock, and according to the U.S. Geological Survey, Long Valley last erupted about 100,000 years ago. And this is on Express UK by Joel Day. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.